By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Welcome to another episode of Timmy Talks, the channel where we talk old school magic. And today we are once again back in Roosendaal, the Netherlands, for the Dutch X-points Open. And a nice thing to note here, this X-points tournament is organized by the founder of the format himself, Rukh. And he organizes this in his local pub in Roosendaal. And it's super cool. And now we've reached the finals of this yearly event. So the finals is going to be between, let me have a look, Martijn, who is on a white-blue Flyers deck. And he's taking on Sander, who's on a Troll Disco deck. And his Troll Disco deck also includes some Diamond Valleys and Rukh Eggs. So I'm kind of liking the list. So two very competitive lists, of course, as you would expect in the finals of this Dutch X-points Open. There were over 60 players playing here today. So it was a really big event. And yeah, today we're going to look at the finals. Before I jump into the deck decks though, first a message from our sponsor, 341 Trading. 341 Trading is one of Europe's leading Magic the Gathering retailers. Their online shop has a fantastic selection of high-end Magic cards, especially for vintage, legacy, and yes, also old school Magic players. But 341 Trading does more. They're now also buying all Magic the Gathering singles and entire collections, big and small. They're one of the top trading card game traders in Europe, buying way over 1 million Magic cards a year, and they are more than happy to make you an offer for your cards today. So if you have any cards for sale, 341 Trading is the place to go. Visit 341.gg/selltimmy to get your offer. And we are back and ready to dive into the deck decks. I'm going to start with the player on the left, that is Sander. Let's take a look at the Troll Disco deck. And here we see the deck of Sander. So this is a black and red deck, and of course it has some Troll Disco elements in it, right? Because these decks have 4 Nevinyrral's Disc, and that's exactly what we see in this deck as well. And they have 4 Sedge Trolls. So of course Nevinyrral's Disc, the artifact for 4 mana, comes into play tapped. Pay 1 and it destroys all enchantments, artifacts and creatures. So if you use this, you wipe the board clean. And the good news, of course, for Sander is that he's got Sedge Trolls, they regenerate, and he also has Rukh Eggs. Rukh Egg, an 0/3 creature from Arabian Nights for 1 red and 3. And when it gets destroyed, you actually get a 4/4 bird token in your next end step. So actually you want the Rukh Egg to get destroyed. And that's why it works so well with your Nevinyrral's Disc. So that's really sweet. Another nice combo here in the deck is Chain Lightning with Rukh Egg. Because of course when you play Chain Lightning on your own target, in this case the Rukh Egg, you can decide to pay 2 more red and then you can pick a new target. For example, your opponent. So then you get extra value out of your Chain Lightning. You get to get a 4/4 flyer and you get to deal 3 damage to your opponent, or maybe even better, destroy a creature on the side of your opponent, whatever you want to do. So I'm not surprised to see decks like these making it really far. And then when we're looking basically at the rest of the deck, what else does he want to do? Well, he has a strong direct damage element in here as well. It's not all just having fun with your discs. He's playing with 3 fireballs here, main, and I think the fireballs are really good in combination with the 4 Dark Rituals. Dark Ritual, of course, an instant, well, you know, interrupt, but now interrupts are instants and all that. But you pay 1 black and then you get 3 black in return. So it's really a mana ramp spell. And mana ramp, of course, goes together quite well with those fireballs. And talking about direct damage, he's also playing with 4 lightning bolts. So 4 lightning bolts, 4 chains, 3 fireballs, meaning there's a lot of burn in this deck. And kind of to top it off, he's also playing with 3 Triskelions. And Triskelions, basically, you know, it can be a really expensive lightning bolt, but if it's the lightning bolt that's going to give you the victory, you're pretty happy, right, to top deck that Triskelion. So Triskelion is a 6 mana creature, a 1/1, but comes into play with 3 +1/+1 counters. So it's basically a 4/4, and you can take those counters off to deal 1 damage to any target. So like I said, it's like an expensive lightning bolt. You can deal 3 damage to the dome of your opponent. And, you know, I think these decks, they've got this control element, right? Because a Sedge, a Disc, a Rukh Egg, they're really your control elements. But at the same time, they're very aggressive, right? Having Lightning Bolt, having Dark Rituals to get going fast, having Dark Rituals to maybe power out a quick Fireball. So they're 2 strategies kind of tucked in one here in this deck. And what I also like is that he's playing with Diamond Valleys. And I think that really helps you because sometimes people refer to X-points as the Chain Lightning format, and they do that because Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt are cards with no points allocated to them. So a lot of players, you know, choose to go for those 8 burn spells. And the problem is that, when you play 8 burn spells, nice, but if your opponent does it also, it kind of becomes this top decking match. Who gets to burn first wins the game. And by playing with your Diamond Valley, it's kind of a way to break through that, because then you also have a little bit of life gain. So I really like that. You know, you sack your ag to the valley and you gain life and you get a 4/4 flyer. It's really good. Or when your opponent, for example, does a Wrath of God as a board wipe, you can choose to Diamond Valley your biggest creature and then you still gain life. So that's pretty sweet. So this is the deck of Sander. Now let's take a look at the deck of his opponent. And here we see the deck of Martijn. So I've called it blue-white flyers, but I mean, it's more than just flyers, right? We've got Suchis, we've got Savannah Lions, and of course, blue-white is a really good control color. And also when you look at like the X-points list of cards, then one thing that I always notice is that Counterspell has no points on them, Sword of Plowshares has no points, Disenchant has no points. And I don't mean this as criticism, but it kind of opens up the way to build white-blue decks. So I'm not surprised to see, you know, this deck making it into the finals. It's looking pretty solid. You know, you've got creatures, good creatures. You've got control elements, disenchant, counterspell, sword. So you can like solve everything you want. You also have a little bit of direct damage in the form of your psionic blasts. You've got your control magics. I think control magic in X-points is pretty good because it's a creature heavy format. The thing I am missing though in this deck, and that's what I'm a little bit worried about, is life gain. There's no life gain in this deck. And I think before sideboarding, that could be an issue for Martijn. I think after sideboarding, right, he can board in his COP red. Although he's only playing one COP red, he can also board in, of course, his blue elemental blasts. And I think those cards can maybe kind of help him. And of course, he can board in his divine offerings against the Nevinyrral's discs. So I think that after sideboard, you know, Martijn is going to have a better chance than before sideboard. I mean, maybe I'm overestimating the power of direct damage. I do that sometimes, but just seeing no life gain at all here in the deck of Martijn, I'm thinking, maybe it could be difficult. Of course, you know, you've got counter magic and you also have creatures to put pressure on the life total of your opponent, kind of forcing him to use those lightning bolts and chain lightnings maybe early game against a lion or something else. But you know what I mean? That's kind of the thing that I notice. That's the first thing I noticed in this specific matchup. Let me put it that way. On the other hand, if Martijn made it to the finals, he must have beaten tons of, you know, burn decks, because like I said, a lot of players here are playing Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt main in their deck. So, you know, you kind of have to deal with that. Anyway, this is the deck here of Martijn's. It's looking strong, don't get me wrong, it's looking strong, but I think after sideboarding, his deck gets even stronger in this specific matchup. So we've looked at this deck, we've looked at the deck of Sander, so that means we are ready for the grand finals of X-Points 2025. Here we go. Game number 1 here of the finals at the X-Points tournament here, the Dutch Open, the big finals. And we had quite a lot of players today, 60 players. We had a full house. So making it to the finals is really a great achievement here for both players. On the left we have Sander, and I think he had a lot of lands there in hand. Also a fireball, I believe, and some other burn. On the right we see Martijn. He's playing blue-white flyers. And he's choosing not to keep it. I think that's a good decision. Only had Mishra's Factory and Island. Those were his only 2 lands. And I think you want to have like at least a double blue in there. But if you would have had a Plains, an Island, and a Factory, that would have been fine. But just needed that 1 extra land, I think. He's going to shuffle up now and he's going to draw a fresh 7. Now we are playing according to the London Mulligan rule, meaning if you take 1 mulligan, you have to draw 7, put 1 card on the bottom. If you take 2 mulligans, then you've got to do it with 2 cards and so forth. And it looks like Sander is keeping his hand, by the way. So he's playing Troll Disco, a black and red deck. Let's take a look. Is Martijn going to keep these cards? That's the question. I hope so. Of course, we want to see some sweet matches in the finals. He's going to put 1 card there on the bottom. So 6 cards left here for Martijn. And it looks like Sander's on the play, starting with a Mishra's Factory. Passing the turn. And now Martijn is drawing his card for turn. So 7 in hand now for Martijn. Starting with a basic island. Passing the turn. And I believe there's another factory in hand there for Sander. Also a Nevinyrral's Disc. Chain Lightning. Dark Ritual. So there we see the mountain animating the factory, attacking for 2. It's always quite nice if you only have to worry about a single island. It's usually pretty safe to just animate and attack. Martijn can now deploy his 2nd island. Means that counter magic is online. We can't really see if he has counter magic in hand though. And one of the things that Sander could just do is play his 2nd factory exactly and then just attack for 3. So animating, and I guess going to pump it exactly. Going to deal 3. So already a quarter of the life gone for Martijn. And Martijn needs, I think, a white source here. There's one other island there. Is that a duel? No, it's another island. Yeah, that's not great. 3 islands. Okay, surrender a free. That's something. Surrender a 3/4 creature, of course. So that's a great blocker for those Mishra's Factories. There we see a land for Sander. So could choose to go Swamp and then Nevinyrral's Disc. Also because Martijn has tapped out, cannot counter. There we go. There's the Nevinyrral's Disc. Passing the turn. So Sander's going to drop to 14 here from his own surrender. Yeah, it's not great for Sander. I feel like he needs white. If he gets white, we could have a match going. So let's see, did he find a white source? I don't believe he did. The problem here for Sander is, right, if he attacks, you know, at least he deals 3 damage with the surrender. You know, but if he doesn't, then he can at least have some blocking power. Probably then Sander is going to animate the disc before combat, and after that, okay, there's the pass. So Martijn deciding not to attack. There's a land. So I'm expecting Sander here to pop the disc, then animate his 2 factories and deal 4. I mean, yes, your disc only deals 1 creature, but on the other hand, you get to, you know, deal 4 extra damage, put him on 10. Okay, he's going to go for Chain Lightning here instead. It's going to put him on 11. So I guess he's patient here. He's hoping that Martijn is going to play some more cards out. And of course, the disc is untapped, so even if Martijn now finds a white source and disenchants the disc in response, Sander can activate it. So there's no way for Martijn here to get away from the disc. Ooh, look at that, Martijn just passing, missing a second land drop. Oh, this is so bad. Just a pass here by Sander. So Sander being quite patient, has Dark Ritual, Fireball in hand as well, and I believe a Lightning Bolt. So I think he can maybe even win it next turn. If, of course, Martijn doesn't have any counter magic. There's another land. Okay, there's a factory. No white source though, but at least a land. But I mean, Martijn already on 9. What can he really do with this mana base at the moment against the disc? There's the attack. So I guess he's planning something. So Sander here dropping to 17. And Martijn passing the turn. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I thought maybe he has another plan. Chain Lightning from the top, another chain. It looks like Martijn is thinking about countering. Is that a counterspell in hand? Yeah, he's got a counterspell in hand there. Taking the damage, I think that's a good decision. You want to keep that counter magic up for now. There's another land drop. I mean, could animate one of his factories, swing in. And if Martijn blocks, he can pump it with the other one, win that battle. And if he doesn't block, he can pump it, deal 3, put him on 3, and then play that final Lightning Bolt. Yeah, he is going to animate. I think this is a good decision. He's going to swing in with the 2/2. I think if you're Martijn, you have to, right? It's going to animate. It's going to make it a 3/3, and Martijn's going to lose. And I think Martijn is pumping in here, but it's not possible. Still had Summoning Sickness. But it actually doesn't matter that much. There's the pass, going to drop to 5. Martijn drawing a card for turn. Yeah, this is Swords to Plowshares, I believe. He really needs a white source. The only good news for Martijn here is that it's just game 1, you know. It's probably going to lose this, but then he can get some sideboard cards in and try to make the best out of the rest of this match here in the finals. There's the attack. Sander dropping to 14, but I don't think Sander minds much. Has a Fireball, Ritual, and a Lightning Bolt in hand. I'm expecting to see Lightning Bolt on end step. And then if Martijn counters that bolt, he's got kind of a free way to play that Fireball. Yeah, there's the end step Lightning Bolt. There we see the counterspell. Yeah, and this is already game, isn't it? Because now he can just Fireball away, right? I mean, maybe he wants to Ritual. Why not? I would Ritual first. He goes in Fireballs. And that's it, game 1 in the pocketing for Sander. But remember, it's just game 1, and now both players are going to dive into their sideboards, and we will catch back up with them in game number 2. Game number 2 here is about to start, and it looks like Sander is happy with his hand. Is Martijn again taking a mulligan? I hope not, Martijn. He is. Okay, so it's going down to 6. Or is it even worse? Is he going down to 5? Could this be like a nightmare finals for Martijn? Oh, going down to 5. And remember, he's on the play because he lost the first game. Oh, that's bad. That is not great. And look at that hand of Sander, by the way. Library of Alexandria there in the opening hand. Oh, that is disgusting. We see Martijn starting here with a Mishra's Factory, passing the turn. Yep, there's the Loa. Oh, my goodness. This is so bad for Martijn. He needs a balance, right? I can't remember if he's actually playing a balance. Let's hope he is, because that can be a way out of it here for him. He's going to attack for 2. Yeah, another way, of course, is just put as much pressure on the life total of Sander as you can. Sander dropping to 18, of course, going to draw an extra card on end step with the Loa. But yeah, this could be pure carnage here, you know. Sander now drawing all those extra cards, already a game ahead here. Doesn't have a great hand, though. I mean, he's got 2 Nevinyrral Discs. What are those other 2 cards? Are they Sedge Trolls? Okay, it's actually not that bad of a hand. And there's just a pass. Martijn, of course, worried if he animates the Mishra's Factory that he may lose it to a Bolt or a Shatter. And of course, so Sander again drawing a card on end step. Yeah, that hand's getting better and better every time. Gonna tap 3. Not even using the Loa to draw cards. Gonna use it to play out a creature. In this case, the Sedge Troll, 3/3. And for 1 black, you can regenerate the Troll. Look at that Martijn passing, not finding blue. Remember, first game couldn't find white. Second game cannot find blue. Very unfortunate here, I feel, for Martijn. Making it all the way here to the finals. Probably playing really good the entire day. And then in the finals, I guess you ran out of luck. Not finding the lands, and your opponent has a Loa. Martijn here, of course, dropping to 17 after taking the hit from the Sedge. I mean, he could play another Sedge. First, he's going to draw another card. That's a land. And now he's going to draw the Sedge. 7 in hand, passing the turn. I mean, this is just really bad. Yeah, Martijn playing a single Savannah Lines 2-1 vanilla. That's not going to do much on this board. And of course, Sander is just going to keep drawing those extra cards. So he's going to attack here with both 3/3s. Now remember, they have regeneration as well. And Sander has enough black open to regenerate if need be. And Martijn dropping to 11. What Martijn needs is some removal. Swords to Plowshares, just a single one would be quite good. Oh, this is pretty devastating. Are we going to see a Gloom coming in from the sideboard? Yes, yes. Oh, this is devastating for Martijn. In response, Martijn is going to have some mana floating, but that's not going to work exactly. You cannot then play the Disenchant, because as soon as the Gloom is resolved, you have that extra tax. This is really bad news for Martijn. He's already on the back foot, and this Gloom only makes matters worse. He's on 11. Has a Savannah line and, yeah, 4 mana at least. Okay, there's a Suchi. That's actually pretty good. That's decent. You can use the Suchi to block one of the Sedge Trolls. And now Martijn has to choose, right? Am I going to attack and then one creature will block one Sedge will be blocked by the Suchi? Am I then going to invest a Chain Lightning or a Lightning Bolt to kill the Suchi? First we see a Lightning Bolt on the life total of Martijn. So Martijn's going to drop to 8. And now Sander's going to take his turn. 7 in hand, I believe. Could draw an extra card. Can he already finish it here? Oh, wow. Look at that Chain Lightning Bolt. That's it. Wow. This must have been one of the quickest finals I've ever reported on here. And amazing. And I have to say, you know, Martijn, bad luck, man. There was absolutely nothing you can do. And of course, a big congratulations to Sander. You've battled the entire day and you've won everything, I guess. Well done. You're winning the finals here. And you are our X-points 2025 champion. And here we see the deck of Sander. So well done, Sander. And yeah, this is how it goes sometimes, right? I mean, we always hope to have these thriller of matches in the finals, but sometimes this is how it goes. You just win 2-0, your opponent cannot find the lands. It is what it is. I think everybody who's played Magic knows what that feels like when you're finding white, when you want blue, when you're finding blue, when you want white, when you're finding black, when you want red, etc, etc. It's It's all part of the game. So Sander, again, congratulations. I'm really liking your deck, by the way. I think it's pretty cool. 4 anime deaths as well. Diamond Valley's in there. I like it. I like the deck photo. And I love that Inferno in the sideboard. Have you used the Inferno? Please let me know in the comments below. Please say yes. I think that card is so cool. Okay, so this was it for now. Here, by the way, we see a picture of Louis, of course, the founder of X-points, handing out the prize card here to Sander. And this was at the end of the tournament. It's been really a fantastic day. So thank you again, Louis, for inviting me over for the tournament. I had a lot of fun. And yeah, before you go, because this is a short video, so I'm sure you have some time left, could you please leave a like, hit that thumbs up button, and also leave a comment. Let me know what do you think about both of these decks. And also share it on your socials if you want to. Of course, all these things are free and really help the channel move forward. And talking about moving forward, did you know that I also have my very own Patreon page? Aye, me hearties. If you would like to support the show, you can become a patron at patreon.com/TimmyTalks. We have 3 different patron levels. You can join as an apprentice for just $1 a month. And this will give you access to the Timmy Talks Discord, and you can join in on all the Timmy Talks online tournaments, such as the Color Clash and the Reprint Masters. You can also become a supporter at the Sorcerer level for just $2 a month. When you are a sorcerer, your name will be mentioned in the end scroll, and if you want, you can play a game against, well, me. But there is more. If you become a supporter at the pirate level, we can even make an episode together. Aye! Haha! You can also choose to pay annually for a 10% discount. So what are you waiting for, me hearty? Visit patreon.com/TimmyTalks and join the Timmy Talks crew. Arrgh!
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Put him in the longboat until he's sober. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. She rises early in the morning. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Pull out the plug and wet him all over. Early in the morning. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises. Way hey up she rises early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Put him in the scout to the husband, son. Put him in the scout to the husband, son. Put him in the scout to the husband, son.
Igitus, figitus, sumba, kazee.